In March 2015, a Category 5 tropical cyclone called Pam hit the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu. The country was prepared, but the trail of destruction left by the super cyclone was devastating. In the immediate aftermath, everywhere there were signs of a nation and its people rallying together to pick up the pieces. At the Government Fisheries Department in the nation's capital, Port Vila, efforts were quickly mobilised to help those most affected by the cyclone get back on their feet.
After the Cyclone Pam, the government through the National Disaster Management Office, NTMO, they set up cluster groups. One of them is the Food Security and Agriculture Cluster. And this group is made up mainly with the departments under the Ministry of Agriculture, which include fisheries, forestry, livestock, biosecurity and agriculture, and some other NGOs that are more into food security issues. So this group was set up to coordinate all the necessary actions to be taken for food security in islands that are mostly affected by the cyclone.
This gear is headed for Aniwa, an island located in the southernmost province, Tafea. Also along for the journey, Pita Neapi, a community resource officer at the Fisheries Department assigned to the World Fish Project, an initiative implemented by the Secretariat of the Pacific Community, SPC, through its Fisheries, Aquaculture and Marine Ecosystems FAME division. Aniwa is one of the 3 project sites in Vanuatu under the initiative.
Aniwa is an island which is small in landmass. Along the shoreline they build little houses which they usually store their fishing gears. Strings, hooks, ropes. They also store their canoes just next to them, and they lock these little houses up, these little huts. And whenever they want to come and fish, they just walk down to this house, open, collect their fishing gears, and off they go. But during the cyclone just wiped out the first terrace of the island, which is including trees, those houses, those canoes, everything. And there's nothing left for them to catch fish.
The department made the decision through our director to request some of the projects that administered by the Fisheries Department here, if we can use some of the fundings to divert some of the fundings to help with the recovery, early relief. So SPC with Wolfish, they gave us the okay for us to use the funding. So we use funding allocated for March to September, I think. We use most of the funding to do some of the very important assessments that we did already, and also fund some of the travel officers to travel to the islands to do the assessment. And also a lot of this funding went towards fishing gears.
The Pacific Community's FAME division assists Pacific Island member countries and territories with information needed to make informed decisions on the management and development of their aquatic resources, and helps to provide the tools as well as strengthen the capacity needed to implement these decisions. After Pam hit, technical staff from SPC, with support from the Australian Centre for International Agriculture Research, ACIAR, and the World Fish Centre were mobilised to provide relief and recovery assistance to Vanuatu.
The plan was to gauge ourselves on the place that are really in need and the place that was really damaged during the cyclone. So we had a meeting with the fisheries top management staff, and we identified and handpicked places that need to be assessed. So we found out that it was southern part of Vanuatu that was severely damaged. So we handpicked some islands there that we need to attend to and identify the real need of the people after the cyclone.
These findings were fed into an assessment report that was compiled for Vanuatu's food security cluster. Part of the short-term intervention recommendations was the distribution of fishing gear for subsistence use.
We advise through our cluster for fisheries will be the only agency to distribute fishing gears, because we are mindful of the overharvesting, because the resources in before cyclone is already overharvest. Cyclone adds to that destruction. And now if we distribute fishing gears, we have to be very careful on what type of fishing gears that we will be distributing. Also the marine, the local tapu areas also, we also encourage community at the 1 month after cyclone to probably put some flexibility to open for food security issue to address the fish. But at the same time we advise them to really take a lot of courses on how they harvest, and control, monitor, get some data, and also be more strictly on the time frame that they will be opening it for access.
Mangaliliu village on the outskirts of Port Vila is home to around 100 households. While not as badly affected as the southern islands in Vanuatu, daily life here is highly dependent on the land and sea.
I went around in the community with Anela and I saw to them, the wind is coming, but very, very strong. But it's good to prepare now. You need to prepare now, put some weight on top of your roof, go to the garden and chop your tapioca branches, manioc branches, and even chop the leaves from the bananas.
As rebuilding slowly takes shape on land, the Fisheries Department has been working with the chief and local village associations to distribute fishing gear in an effort to supplement the community's diet during the recovery period.
When Cyclone Pam came and our food damaged from our garden, so we didn't have enough money to go to the shop and buy a tin, tuna or whatever. But the fisheries distribute them to the women in the village. It helps the women a lot.
The needs that people, they really need that level of capacity that they require in the islands, like basic fishing technology for the canoe areas to build up. Some communities who are struggling to manage their own tapu areas, some of the basic information that they require. I think some of the very valuable information that we collected. And this is, I think, will form the basis of our next planning for the department as a whole. I think it will give a lot of new direction for us after this cyclone.